Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I very much appreciate your calling this hearing. I apologize to you and to Mr. Fugate that I will be running back and forth after this statement. I must run to a hearing where a vote is soon to be called. But this is a very important hearing to me and to the American people. We are pleased to welcome all of our witnesses today to discuss the need to improve and expedite recovery efforts from disasters, as well as to reauthorize FEMA. During the 110th and 111th Congress, our subcommittee held hearing after hearing to ensure that FEMA would not repeat its failures on the Gulf Coast. Now, nearly 6 years after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita struck our nation, recovery efforts finally have progressed, in part because FEMA, pressed by our subcommittee, has addressed some of the problems that impeded recovery. However, there remain other areas for improvement to ensure quicker recovery from disasters. The recent tornadoes, floods, and wildfires that have caused great losses in human life and property should push all of us, once and for all, to improve the recovery process and to ensure that we are not still talking about rebuilding efforts in places such as Joplin and Minot 6 years from now. FEMA's recent initiation of a bottom-up review of its public assistance program, FEMA's primary program for rebuilding infrastructure and public facilities following disasters, reveals that FEMA understands what can do and knows that it must do it better. And not only does lengthy recovery prolong suffering, but delays also drive up costs and impact jobs. Particularly now as our nation climbs out of the Great Recession, we must avoid the experience following Hurricane Katrina, when billions of dollars in recovery funds went unspent for years, waiting to be used on construction of vital infrastructure that would have helped restore jobs and economic prosperity to the Gulf Coast. Finally, this subcommittee had to move with a new process in order to assure that so much in funds was not left on the table. Although there has been progress in other areas, FEMA continues to show some troubling signs. On September 22nd of last year, this subcommittee held a hearing on lessons learned from Hurricane Katrina. At that hearing, I asked FEMA to move to a system that pays state and local governments for repair and reconstruction projects on the basis of cost estimates, as is done in the insurance industry and is mandated by the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. We must learn today why nearly 11 years after President Clinton signed that bill into law, FEMA still has not implemented a rule to institute a cost estimating system which would surely avoid the lengthy delays in recovery that have characterized past disasters. I'm pleased to be working with Chairman Denham on his bill to reauthorize FEMA's management and administration account, along with two crucial programs administered by FEMA, the Urban Search and Rescue System and the Emergency Management Assistance Compacts, or EMAC, which FEMA originally created in 1979. EMAC helped to centralize the federal government's emergency response mechanisms and coordinate the government's response to disasters. In 2006, after Hurricane Katrina exposed many of FEMA's weaknesses, Congress passed the Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act to authorize FEMA for the first time and to strengthen FEMA by providing the agency with additional authority to accelerate federal assistance in the absence of a state request to expedite payments for debris removals and to use local contractors, among other reforms. The Urban Search and Rescue, first established by FEMA in 1989, created a system of task forces, now numbering 28 in 19 states, which respond to structural collapses resulting from any type of disaster. We have been very proud of the work of these urban search and research teams. For example, teams from California, Virginia, New York, and Florida responded to the Haiti earthquake of 2010 that shook many of Port-au-Prince's buildings to the ground. The American teams alone are credited with rescuing 46 people from the rubble. In addition to the urban search and rescue, EMAC plays an important role in disaster response by offering a method for states to quickly and efficiently provide aid when disaster strikes, when states do not have the needed personnel or resources. Just this month, the California Emergency Management Agency responded to an EMAC request from the state of Montana for technical advice and assistance in responding to the oil spill on the Yellowstone River. California personnel are currently on the scene. I hope our subcommittee can act now and reauthorize these important programs. Again, I thank witnesses for appearing today and look forward to their testimony.